Welcome, my friends and enemies. Glad you are here. I'm joined once again with part of the Council of Lane. It's been a hot minute since we've all been together, but I can thank the EU and Canada for that. So, I am joined together with good old Unknown Sage. If you want to say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Thank you, EU, for your input. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, surviving, and hopefully I won't stroke out tonight. I mean, I'm in bad physical shape, but
If this doesn't do it, Cad Swain showing up will definitely do it.
Oh God!
But yes.
Imagine if Cat Swan showed up in this show, like it would be perfect synergy,
Probably. I mean, it'd be kind of weird, but it would be, I would agree, perfect synergy. All right, so we have a thought, guys, about doing predictions of what's going to happen in this, and the clear fact of the matter is I have no flipping idea, just due to the fact that nothing they have done makes any sense, and the only time I can make predictions is off of stuff I've seen, which I already made my predictions in the last video we did. So do you guys have any particular predictions other than the ones I brought up last time? Which I don't even remember what they are, but they're predictions. They're written, recorded. So
you want to go first, Sage?
No, I'll leave you to do the first one. I need to still think about what to predict.
This is a prediction based on their in-depth writing. Okay, so you remember how
it's based on them, not the original lore.
Correct. Yeah. So you remember how they forged the three, but didn't. But in the actual lore, the 7 and 9 were forged first, and the 3 were forged without Sauron there, right? And the reason they went through this whole thing with the 7 and the 9 is because the fans were like going crazy over it, right? And like, oh, let's just retcon this in. Let's just have a story arc about it. And like this wasn't their plan for this season. Okay, you can go back and find, right? So I'm predicting. Remember the very last time we saw Halron in season 1 was him walking towards Mount Doom. I'm predicting they're going to retcon him having already forged the one.
Halbrand?
Halron.
Oh, you mean
Halbrand? Yeah.
I thought you said Halrond, and I was like,
Halron.
What?
No, that's a different character.
Yeah, Halron.
Halron is a different character.
So I'm predicting they're going to retcon in that he forged the One Ring already, based on that. And
that's why everyone's being corrupted by the ring power.
That's what their logic is going to be.
Literally everything in reverse.
Yeah, exactly. but their writing is so inept that they, to quote George R. R. Martin, you guys remember that not a vlog we talked about 2 months ago, where he's like, these TV show writers think they can write better than the original author. Yeah. These guys thought they could write so much better than Tolkien that they abandoned anything he even wrote in the appendices. They abandoned the stuff in the appendices, and now they're trying to retcon stuff in to sort of.
Well, they didn't use the appendices as a source. They used it as a source of words.
Yeah, exactly.
They took those words and they threw them into a script and said, "That's what it works because it sticks to the wall."
Now, I don't know that I'm right, so I haven't looked. I haven't.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
But there are people who have reviewed the episode already, and I always stay neutral for hours. You know what I mean?
I don't even watch them. Like I've skipped Shad's reviews. I've skipped Disparu's reviews.
You don't watch Disparu and Shad like on Friday or Saturday.
I'm saying I don't watch because like today, this morning, Shad already had his review out because it's a different time zone there. So he's like, boom, it's out. I'm like, I am not watching it because I don't want to be spoiled by it. I want to see how I can figure it out objectively before I get to that. And if I go back and watch it, because usually he brings it up in either the Culture War podcast or he does it in FNT. So I don't typically have to go watch his video for it to get the whole details of what the points are.
My other prediction, we're going to see an epilogue where Halron gives a ring to Ar-Pharazôn.
Oh, you mean one of the men rings?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll make Ar-Pharazôn a ring ray?
I think they're going to do that.
Or do you think they're going to send him to the Valar like the normal story? Because I don't see. There's no reason for them to go against the Valar at this point.
Well,
like even though they have the faithful and the Kingsmen, I don't see a reason for them because they haven't been going.
Well, here's the thing,
Valar. They
can't. In the way they've structured this show, they can't actually attack Valinor because Valinor's in another dimension already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need to go to a light portal.
Yeah,
and then right at the last minute, jump ship.
Yeah,
and only then can you swim all the way back thousands of miles. But
Wait a minute.
watch out for them kraken snake thingies, whatever they are. Leviathan wannabe giant squid / whatever. I don't really know what they're supposed to be. Shrimp. But do you think
They haven't mentioned Emu at all.
Do you think we will see Numenor at all this episode?
In that epilogue I'm talking about, I think we'll see it.
So like at the very end of the episode kind of thing?
Yeah. I think we're gonna see we might see a bit here or there, like with the Elendil storyline of him getting off the island or whatever type of thing, But
my prediction is that we will see more, not more than, but necessarily, but because we didn't see hardly anything of either the Harfoot storyline, all that in the Rune, and we didn't see hardly anything from Numenor. I don't think we saw anything from either of those last episode. I'm assuming we'll see them in this episode, and we'll see a little bit probably of the dwarves, but I don't know how much we're going to get out of that. And then we'll see probably a bit more of the battle.
we're going to see the dwarves fight.
Isn't the battle technically over? So why would there be?
We're going to see the dwarves fight a Balrog.
Probably. I think I mentioned that one last week.
So, but my main thing is about the rings, because based on their idiotic storytelling, I think that we're going to see that.
So, do you think that like the 3 or 4 Easterlings that are like diseased by the Dark Wizard are going to each get a ring or something? Because they don't have enough men rulers in the show for them to give them to them all.
I would
9 rings. Then
I mean, I think they're not going to give them to rulers, but just random people they find on the street or something.
Well, we don't have any notables except for a couple of the Runees, and I think at least one of the ring knights is from Rune.
Sure, yeah.
Is it common?
Well, 3 of them. I think Camul is from Rune, but 3 of them are supposed to be Numenorians who took a long time to be suborned by the ring.
Well, yes, but what I'm saying is that people that they can even give them to, of the people available, Ar-Pharazôn is the only man ruler that would be viable.
But remember, the logic of Ar-Pharazôn getting the ring, see what actually happened in the lore is Sauron basically mind raped him over the course of a couple of years. Okay?
Yeah.
So, but this show has consistently made Sauron powerless, except as a goo monster.
Well, and also the fact that he can like literally make somebody live in an illusion in his head.
One person, like that's something Sauron could do. He did to the almost entirety of Numenor. Numenor.
Yeah, I'm not saying they did it accurately. I'm saying like that at least shows him a little power, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I think we'll get a little bit of the dwarves. I'm sure they'll leave the dwarf storyline on a cliffhanger with the Balrog.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well.
And I think we're going to get Gandalf doing his thing. Maybe Bombadil abandons him. Maybe Bombadil doesn't abandon him. I don't think they'll have Bombadil abandon him because there'd be no point in, like, why introduce him even as a character to literally have him do nothing?
Though the interesting thing about Standalf, so actual Gandalf is more associated with weather and lightning and all, but being one of Manwë's followers. We've seen Standalf use fire, which would indicate he's more likely to be Saruman.
I'd rather use the term knocked off, but yeah, that works too.
I mean, they can't call him Gandalf at all because of the license, but
they call him Tim.
Tim, nice.
But I think we're gonna get a little bit more story from the Runees. We'll get a little bit story involving the Dark Wizard. I don't know how much. I'm assuming the cliffhanger for Knocked Off's storyline is going to be him coming to blows with the Dark Wizard, and then I'll kind of end there on a cliffhanger. Dwarves with the Balrog, the elves with the orcs. But they said that the last 2 episodes were one big battle, but the battle out front of Eregion is literally done.
Or is it?
Well, we have Elrond passed out. Adar's over him because Adar apparently has super strength where Elrond has no strength. Because reasons. Ow. And we have Gil-galad just doing nothing as far as I can tell. But nothing's happening. And unless there's going to be a random force of Numenorians showing up on a ship. And just...
Yeah, that's going to happen, obviously.
Probably. Well, why would they? They hate
There were
I don't fucking know.
a week or two ago.
Exactly. What?
They will be there.
A week or two ago, there
I'm
were
betting
rumors
on
about Glorfindel showing up in this episode.
Oh, is Glorfindel even in the show?
Well, he returned to Middle Earth between 1300 and 1600 in the Second Age.
In the
And
book,
which year
yeah,
are we in
I'm
now?
saying what in the show?
Well, the rings are being forged. That's when they were forged.
Okay, fair enough.
What I'm saying is that what makes you think Glorfindel's even going to be in the show?
That rumor's been floating around for a few weeks.
It's a rumor, yes, but I'm saying, but why would they?
They are
I
allowed to
don't know.
use him, right?
Like
Because
he's
he's
gonna
in-
be
he's in the
super
appendix.
unused. But yeah, but they already made it a whole bunch of different random nobody characters that aren't even from the series. Why would they need another?
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just telling you about a rumor that's been flying around.
Well, I know I get the concept of a rumor, but you made it sound like you actually think it's going to happen, and I'm like, but why?
No. I don't.
I'm going to bet
I
the
don't know.
Eagles are going to save everyone.
Oh my gosh! What do you think's going to happen with Galadriel and the Bag of Rings?
She's going to get captured and the rings get stolen again.
She puts them all on herself.
You can't capture her. What?
She puts them
Oh,
all on
well,
herself.
Ah! Well, will it work though? Because it's for humans.
She goes full
That's
Mandarin.
an excellent question.
Would she become all the ring ray?
All the ring.
I am all the Sith. I mean ring ray.
In theory,
Lightning strikes it
Okay.
off.
if this were the real Galadriel, in theory, she could impose her will over the ring and make it work for her. That's all I will say on it.
She goes to the rings. Look at me. I am the captain now.
Well, that I mean to do serious lore for a second. That was the thing with Galadriel and the One Ring is
show.
Galadriel was strong enough of will that so long as Sauron didn't get the ring, if she had it, she could contest his will trying to get for the ring,
Well, yeah,
so to speak.
if
You know?
he didn't have the one ring, yeah.
Well, as long as out of his possession, meaning like if he had the One Ring and she had on her Elven ring, she would not be able to resist him for too long, because of the gateway that the ring gives into her, so to speak.
Okay. Thoughts on Arondir?
He's going to have to survive, right?
Yeah.
They can't just kill off the diversity elf.
Well, they
killed off the
diversity
Chinese elf.
The Asian.
Yeah, but that that one doesn't matter because they're white
That one
adjacent. So
pissed me off because that was a blatant ripoff of Boromir, but she did better than Boromir.
I don't know if I agree with that, but
yeah, no, I don't think so.
Well, she did. He only got hit by 3 arrows. She got hit by like 6.
Well,
sure, but that's not really relevant, though, is it?
in the book, Boromir's
One of those arrows, by the way, is not in a place that kills you.
in the book, Boromir's last stand was a bit more.
Well, yeah, I'm saying just equivalent in cinema to like
Yeah.
Fellowship of the Ring, even though technically it happened in 2 towers in the book. But I'm saying like not only did she get hit by many, and even if she didn't get hit and someone,
Although what's kind of funny about that,
she'd still bleed,
right?
So
The you know how Asians are the other white people, right? So they killed off
the other white meat.
they killed off a white elf basically.
Well, of course. That's how.
I, think
You do it.
I hope let's get to this episode.
But my last thing was that she successfully destroyed the siege engine, but Boromir allowed the halflings to be captured. She is better according to their lore.
Fair enough. Good point.
So, anyway,
Okay, go, let's just go.
we'll jump into this nonsense that's going to be over an hour and probably 8 minutes.
Let's not watch the last episode thingy. It's called Shadow and Flame. There has to be a Balrog in this episode.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
guessing based off of what we're seeing right now that this is the dwarves because they're underground. Looks like.
Imagine if it's like, oh no Balrog today, and just collapse the tunnel.
Prince Dur, the fourth, breathing heavily. Yep, we're the dwarves.
Oh no.
Where is all of his troops? The ones he completely reclaimed.
And the Dwarven ring should not work like that, people listening to this. Unless Sauron has the One Ring.
I did not need to see that.
How about go protect our children?
Meow. Meow.
Cat saying, "Don't watch it. Don't watch it."
Yes, he got that far just off of that. That's how
Is that,
battering rams are
is
useful.
that a battering ram?
Yeah, it's a battering ram. Apparently, he couldn't pick up a pickaxe.
That doesn't seem a very safe way to mine.
Mithril veins. Balrog growls.
Well, remember, in the show, the mithril is linked to the Balrog. So
Yeah, true.
in theory, there's a Silmaril there too.
Isn't that Silmaril shattered into the Mithril though?
I thought the battle had the Silmaril getting buried with the Balrog.
No, the Silmaril was in a tree and it got hit by lightning, while the Balrog and an elf were fighting over it.
Well,
and
I
then
mean,
it became Mithril.
technically they're indestructible, but who knows with this show?
When I was a wee lad, yes. Because of course they're Scottish.
Well, I mean, it's dwarven accents just in general. He's giving him the strong speech. He's consumed. Why would he do that? You have your entire people beg at your feet literally every day. What is he carrying?
The Balrog.
Battle axe? He has a battle axe. Notice how he had to bring back his multiple legions of dwarf soldiers.
Yeah, they couldn't help the elves.
And he's not even using them in here to stop his dad.
Well, I guess all the people you murdered to get here make it okay, Dad.
But the thing is that the closer you get to where the mithril veins are going to be, the closer you are to where the Balrog technically was arguably felled. You're not going to give us any context?
Is that like a battle? Yeah.
What's that? What's that there? Balrog popped out. Oi, you got a license to be here. The Balrog can't even see him. He doesn't even know the beginnings of where he's at.
Well, no, he has like a echolocation.
This angers me because I like Balrogs. Well, that's useful. Oh, you scumbags. Balrogs with wings, my rear end.
I just want to point something out.
Same. Balrogs do have wings.
The Balrog, the thing about delving too deep was not that they freed the Balrog, but they caught its attention.
Why are you sitting like this? This is literally horror film levels. Like he's gonna give it to his son, and he's gonna get taken and dropped down. Because you can hear him say this, or is he not saying it? He's just thinking it. So he's just gonna leave the ring. This doesn't make any sense.
Why would you? Okay, why not just both run? I thought she was going to get.
He's
back.
not wearing any armor. He literally just jumped into a chasm. He's gonna fall before it ever lands. Like, this doesn't even look good.
Why is it in slow motion?
Because it's dramatic, with the dramatic.
The battle hit a fatality.
All right, we don't care about that.
So now the battle is gonna like go back and chill underground for some reason.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's how
because
I just like we saw the Balrog. They're like, that's all you get for the rest of the season.
And I want the people listening to this, right? All 17 of you at most.
we have a Gandalf.
The Balrog could have freed itself at any time. It just had no desire to.
Why does he have to touch a drawing? Something behind him, right? Yeah. Or is he back to the Stores territory?
Now it's not in the appendices. It's in like I guess History of Middle Earth or something. But in the final version of the lore, all 5 Istari came in the Third Age. The Blue Wizards came first, and then the other 3 came later. Right? Gandalf was the last one to come over. In an alternative version of the lore, Alando and the guy's name starts with a P.
Probably Balaram.
Something like that. They came in the Second Age. Oh, you see what they're doing?
They're creating the Astari.
So the Dark Wizard would be Saruman.
But if he's old friend, he should know his name, so he should tell him. He's not even referring to them as his friend.
Proud fellow Brandyfoot. Did they just flip the last part of the name?
Maybe.
Like Proud Feet? Or Proudfoot should be the actual Hobbit name?
No, that was a joke in like the first one. Bilbo calls them Proud Foods, I think, and the actual name is Proud Feet.
Yep, these are going to become the Nazgul. We were once kings. He's dead.
Wasn't he the one who summoned like the evil spooky ghost people.
Oh gosh, they're doing the pity line. Directly, no. Indirectly, yes.
Pity won't, but a bunch of orcs could do it.
Well, only if they have spiky crown.
You can't be a successor unless you have spiky crown. These are rules. No.
This is stupid.
What?
This is bad writing on its own.
Is he gonna make a golem or? And this is what forces the stores to move to the Shire.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense, though, ethnically speaking.
Well, all the black stewards are going to be killed. This is stupid. Like, this is utterly incompatible with the actual Lord of the Rings novel.
Oh snap! Yoda's in the house.
This is like ripped right out of Naruto, like giant rocks falling down on him.
Yeah, the double Madara comments.
Interesting. What will you do about the second one? The best lines in any anime ever.
Hi ho, the merry bowls toll. Is the tree in Numenor?
Yes. I can't remember the name of it anymore. The white.
But that tree was supposed to be white, yeah. Could this be the tree in the... No, because we're in Numenor, right? So it can't be the Moria tree that Durin got from Elrond.
Uh-oh, the faithful are about to get wiped out. And she's going to be the cause of it. I like how that's the faithful. The end. Oh, the leaders of the faithful.
What?
Let me guess. He saw Sauron. Well, they're rapidly increasing this. It's Nazi Germany all over again.
Well, this doesn't happen in the book until Sauron gets there.
Yep.
Oh, he's already been there, remember?
No,
Well, also, they don't accuse the faithful of being in league with Sauron, though, right?
correct.
Even if
Because-
Muriel...
Because they're in league with Sauron because he's allied with them.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. Even if Muriel is with Sauron, that would not even imply that the rest of them are in league with Sauron.
This is-
True, but they don't really care, though, right?
Well, I know, but I'm saying, like, to be like, oh, well, because she's bad means all you are bad, is literally what we call bad argumentation.
Now, by the time these events had unfolded in the story, in the actual Legendarium, the faithful had holed up in Anduni already, as well as establishing colonies on the mainland.
Mm-hmm. And why are they coming for him exactly? Oh, yeah, that's right. She betrayed him. I had completely forgotten. Not really,
Yeah,
but
that was really convincing. No, move along. Why did he not run from that?
Why now?
Well, because she cares about her family so much that she dooms all of New
Why
World
now?
to care about her family.
Why now, but not
Well,
last episode?
Elendil is supposed to be the type of guy who could take on that group of people by himself and without a sweat.
But here's the funny part: is that
Elendil, rather. Yeah. Elrond too, but
our Farazan didn't bother sending
Anarion.
anybody to freaking.
that's his like
So-
sixth mention.
So is this the first time we hear about Anarion, or is it?
He was mentioned once before in the first season.
And he's suddenly secretly already in the west, in the east, because with some other faithful on the mainland. How does that make sense?
The shipping is so irritating. The sword right there. Narsil. And the wrong scabbard.
I don't recall now still looking like that.
It's the replica. The white flame.
Now,
Yeah,
there's
no, still means white flame.
now
I meant the thing that he looked at it and it's just like a little inscription thingy and it's like, it means the white flame. I was like, what? How does that look like a flame?
I guess if there's an inscription, then that's good to know. The name.
Oh, we're back to the battle that I thought was already over? Nope, yep, we're back to the
No,
battle.
no,
I
it,
thought was
it
already
has
over.
just begun.
so Elendil's family was already supposed to have Narsil by this time.
Mhm.
Like the Lords and didn't have it before these
The
events.
elf literally just stood there and got hit.
This is harder than killing Sauron.
I mean, they really make elves look stupid and bad at everything.
Pretty much. Especially since these are, I think, supposed to be Noldor elves.
There's an old one, yeah. Oh, well, supposed to be.
You know, like the light of Valinor that literally should hurt orcs around them standing near them.
Yeah. Just keep stabbing everybody.
Hey, Galadriel, why don't you use your mind power to save everyone?
Why didn't the
What's
orc
that?
just slit her face? Like, I don't understand.
I say it jokingly, but the only way they could fix our character is if she just goes like Super Saiyan, and then Kate Winslet steps out afterwards.
Kate Winslet?
Kate Blanchett.
It's like, who's Kate Winslet? Or Kate Winslet?
Well, Kate Winslet would be an improvement too, but it's like, but Kate Blanchett. She's like, it's like, no, you killed him. You killed. I just like go, you killed him. And just, it's like, oh, you know.
Yes, we should all keep coming out the thing where they're like, we've been caught. Boob rings. Celebrimbor?
Well, he is riddled with weapons.
Damn, he's dead.
Well, Sauron was supposed to torture him to death.
Yes, but wouldn't he already have control of the army by that point?
Well, so what happened with the War of the Elves and Sauron is after he put on the one and found out about the three and they took it off, it enraged him because it fucked with his plans. So he attacked the region, and Celebrimbor gave the three to we gave one to Galadriel and two to Gilgalad, who Gilgalad gave one to Círdan, right?
Why did not a single one of the catapults hit this tower?
And then he attacked, Sauron captured Celebrimbor and sacked Ostined Hill. And then at the end of the war, he had Celebrimbor's body like on like a Mad Max style in front of the thing, like tortured and everything. You know, there's some decent fan artwork of that over the years. And like the lore debate is because Tolkien never finalized it was, did he get 6 dwarven rings from Celebrimbor or 7? Tolkien had 2 versions of events with the 1 ring.
I think the people who wrote this relate with Sauron the Great. Like, it's always everybody else's fault.
The only way to like enjoy this show is if it's a parody and you're rooting for Halron.
I do find it funny though, because it's like, if he dies, he goes back all grit and dandy. They're like, oh, but we killed him, and it's like, but did you though?
Well, I don't think they have that as part of the show lore.
Could he not just bite his own tongue and kill him?
Maybe.
Mind you, there are variations of the lore where elves can basically like will themselves to die.
Oh, he can just stand up with all those arrows. That's, yeah, sure.
He's going full Boromir. Never go full Boromir.
I'll keep you alive. And he's dead.
And none of that happened.
Sauron becoming emotional at the words of an elf.
Sauron literally got taken out by Eru.
But no, Sauron's having regretful thoughts as he has Celebrimbor up on a pillar with a giant glade. Just, you know. And there goes Sauron. Celebrimbor.
So it ends.
Thus ends Celebrimbor. Oh, whatever Reggie. Is that a good Gandalf impression? And we have a crying Sauron. These are gonna be the. This is gonna be the one who becomes the loyalist to Sauron.
Why the fuck is he crying?
Because
That's
he
right.
is sad about having to kill Celebrimbor.
Why are they mixing languages?
Because they don't understand how to do it without it. Peligir.
I mean, it's basically the pretentious
Peligir, whatever.
type of language use where every now and then you
Wait a
sprinkle
minute.
in some
Are there
words.
Numenorean soldiers here?
Yeah, an Arion, which a secret gang of faithful is here.
Oh, Theo's back.
Well, Peligir was a city of the faithful. And the place in
That's supposed
That's
to be a joke.
that's a
Starts with a U.
stupid
Starts with a U.
phrase.
That was a really stupid joke. Also, you wouldn't just put it blatantly in it. You'd wrap it in something and then stick it in. Come on. By being a better man.
Oh no.
His smug face is such a modern teenager. Look at that. He's gonna give him a hug. You know my real dad, but I'll take a hug.
This is sad because Isildur is supposed to be tall.
Well, yes, but Theo is also tall. You don't understand, Matt. You don't understand.
No, Isildur is just tiny.
Itty bitty living space.
I mean, Theo didn't even come close to the top of that door.
But where is Isildur going? Is he gonna go establish Arnor, and then his dad would have showed up and established Gondor? Or no, it's the
The father establishes Arnor.
Yeah,
father-
but they're going to do it the other way around because they don't understand.
What? Why did she think this would be a good thing to do? Her beloved's out there. And why does he care?
Why does that room look so dingy?
Because this is a South human place,
Oh.
and they don't get fancy buildings like the elves and the Numenorians. Right?
And they don't clean their houses.
But yeah, also that. But you know, I figure that was well obvious.
Because you cheated on him. Do you think possibly, and it's crazy because this whole scene's stupid, but do you think possibly they're trying to be Isildur is talking, this is Edith, and Edith was with somebody else, but then he's like basically wins her over, kind of a thing? You think that's
Well, that's
possible?
not what happened, though.
Maybe, but who knows? Could be anything.
Yeah, oh sure. Numenor's perfectly safe.
What could possibly go wrong?
Well,
Oh, bother.
okay, so
Oh, crap.
sure.
You talking about the horse?
Yes, the horse. We're gonna have a brawl. Why is he telling him stuff like he doesn't know? Yes, because they would totally eat that.
Why threaten with killing the horse?
Mind you, Isildur should be able to kill them all by himself, but hey.
We just created drama because they need drama.
They're only trees. Well,
About that. How about you Numenorians go do that first? You guys first. Well, we'll follow afterwards. Oh, bother. I hate when they just make drama for the sake of drama. Okay, if she can kill an ice troll in under 10 seconds.
I mean, a drama is the target audience of this, right?
We all know what is he doing.
Wait, that's a da?
It's supposed to be a tomb? Yeah.
Okay, so she's going to give him the rings.
And the slaughter. It's already done.
I'm going to bet that that's Halron.
Because now I have 9.
Oh, he's gone full elvish now.
Wait, is that the crown?
He's gone full back to elf.
Oh, God. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know they're going to do it, but don't do it.
Killaborn. Killaborn.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Killaborn.
He's not even that old. Don't do it.
But Celeborn doesn't have black hair.
Well, they don't know that. My wife. I am.
Press X to doubt.
Press X to doubt. Yeah. There's no way. That CG is so bad. How he gets dirty along with it.
Is he like de-healing?
Yeah, he's only healed while he wears the ring.
Hey, put on these 9 rings. They'll probably.
Oh, this guy got killed by. Like, why didn't Sauron try to turn the orcs? Instead, he just kills them. What does Sauron's army look like?
Well, they nerfed Sauron, basically.
Honestly, no idea. Maybe this is a trap.
So this is the fix.
So he's gonna have Galadriel show up and heal him.
No, this is an orc plan with Sauron.
Yep, called it. It's a trap.
Now she goes Super Saiyan.
The Julius Caesar moment.
Wait a minute! Isn't this what happened in episode 1?
I like how she's just standing there.
Well, if they slam that crown on Adar, does he become a goo monster too?
No, it's Sauron.
You know, the crown that's supposed to be in the void with Morgoth.
We don't talk about that.
I like how she's like completely unaware of her surroundings, even though she's an elf. And how many times you gotta stab the poor guy? We've never wanted this.
At least now he's free.
Well, you know how they say Celeborn is going to be in the second season?
Oh
But
yeah,
his
that was a
name
thing,
is-
right?
He's in there's Celeborn in the second season.
I haven't seen him yet.
I mean, the orcs were supposed to be designed from Morgoth and Sauron to basically mind control at will.
Here goes throat. Nope, just stab.
So does Adar still count as an elf?
I don't know.
Well, in the actual lore, like technically all the orcs count as elves.
Right, but so he would go to the halls of Mandos and then be reincarnated.
Yeah.
Galadriel's just really weird. For a ring? Haha. Too little, actually, but
Oh God,
he's
they're
gonna-
ripping off Tolkien again.
He's gonna slam his head off.
That's Bilbo's last song.
Saw that coming a mile away.
But why do the weird flip?
To lock it.
Well, that didn't work, clearly.
Well, no, it locks it from her being able to come at him from the side. Doesn't mean she can't pull it back. Do you think you're gonna beat him with swordplay?
Sure.
By burning it to the ground. Did she just like stop and then bring back to do it again? Why did she whip her face back if she got hit in the side? Why is this combat so bad? Oh, they got Gilgalad.
Oh no, but he has a fancy ring, right?
He rotated on the inside.
I'm still here. I just got to blank out for a second.
Okay. Oh no, the statue of who's that?
Somebody. I think it's supposed to be Feanor.
But why is there a statue of Feanor in Austin Ethel?
Because wasn't he the great grandfather of Celebrimbor?
Sure, but he has no relation to the city.
Elrond, why would they care?
And actually, I think Celebrimbor wouldn't even know what Feanor looks like.
There's a lady behind him in pink. I was just like, huh?
Like, what is the point of this scene?
I don't know. Why is that orc flammable?
What's the point of putting a blade to their throat if they're supposed to be unharmed?
Okay, what's that orc doing?
This is why you make copies of things. Oh, we lost Matt. Or maybe it's screenless.
So is that supposed to be like
Someone, don't try it. I have the high ground.
a sort of
They're reducing.
symbolic?
Granted, he would beat him, but they're reducing what should be a battle of powers to a bad sword fight.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't think they can hear you. Well, actually, no, they can hear you. Never mind. Keep on. Keep on.
But the
Wait, use the move from Highlander Endgame.
oh no,
Come on, you could do it, Galadriel. Didn't you see the movie?
She can't even do basic swordplay. What are you talking about? Why would he not land on his feet?
honestly, no idea. My hood
Oh,
looks different now. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna just switch into Halbrand, but in a totally different armor set because yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, he has the high ground. I really want him to say, "You made me."
Oh, smart. Hit the rock. That's a good technique.
That's true. You're not going behind that rock again. You're not changing on me.
Wow, Galadriel can't even beat herself.
Hey, at least they're being honest. Oh, I didn't realize you could just thump it, and that's how you do it. He's already standing up, isn't he? I thought elves were supposed to be light of the feet.
I think this is in their heads, so to speak.
No, he's
Is it? I'm not
physically
so
there.
sure.
Physically there.
Well, remember, Sauron's only done all that sort of major shape changing in illusions, not in
He
reality.
could do it on a whim. He's
Yeah,
changing active reality.
Well, the real Sauron could do that, yes.
I'm saying
Goomouse Sauron can't.
Okay, maybe they're there, but he just makes himself look like something else in her memory or something.
It was made by those who are dead, and the dead shall keep it. This is some pretty atrocious swordplay.
Yeah, they spin around all the time.
He's
So I
literally
guess that's a good trick, right?
he's literally just hitting stone and going ah, like he's actually attempting. That's the best she could do. His
Wow.
eyes that wide is just so creepy.
But also, why would you just sort of stab him and then when he's weak, stop attacking?
Yay! And for those watching, she just got stabbed by the crown, and I'm happy about it. Best comeback she could say here is, "I'm already married." Is this where more elves show up somewhere?
Since when did they get called the Free Peoples of Middle Earth? Wait a minute, this isn't doesn't make any sense. How can Galadriel still be alive in Lord of the Rings now?
Oh, because remember, there's the great genocide that Amazon brought upon all of Middle Earth.
They're all just going to sell back from Valinor in a few weeks.
Let me
Ah,
guess.
true. Yeah, that's
This
right.
is where she stands up and cuts his finger off. Elves just showed up. Oh my gosh. Or is it dwarves?
No, this is the Horn of Helm Hammerhand.
Dwarves. On a freaking magic crossbow.
This was such an insult to what Tolkien wrote.
Navi? Is he the prince anymore though?
He's the king now.
I
Yeah.
know, but he said the prince.
Yeah, maybe it's like the little kid that's crying for the grandpa.
But wasn't she just literally almost at death's door? And
Yes.
she just stands right up like she's never been injured before.
Remember the ring? That ring heals people.
Well, her other wounds aren't healed.
She's gonna jump off the cliff or whatever.
She's gonna jump backwards. She's like, whoa! Oh nope, she's just gonna give it to him. He's gonna
Okay.
reach out.
It's fake Nenya anyway, so. Ah.
Oh, I don't see how falling to your death is going to particularly do anything.
Are the eagles gonna save her now?
No, she's just gonna hit the
No,
tree.
she just dead. She splattered into a
She
pile of
went
blood.
poof, 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 all the way down.
And this is the reason Sauron turns to true evil. His true love was lost forever.
Well, so much for the side they chose.
This is a weird camera shot.
Why would they make it all blurry?
That's what makes it a weird camera shot. Why are those two the ones who find her?
Oh no, they saw her fall from the
They saw her
distance.
fall, but I mean, they didn't know.
And then they immediately teleported there, obviously.
The crown left a mark. Oh my gosh.
Also, they have to go to Valinor so she could be healed.
Oh my gosh. They're doing the whole Wraith Dagger thing. They're doing the scene with Elrond and Frodo and Fellowship of the Ring.
But again, Elrond is the one who should be able to heal this.
Well, he found the ring, so there he can. It's like, no, we're gonna get bigger. Allow me.
Now Elrond heals someone. Finally, after 2 fucking seasons.
He's like, finally, I'll use the ring. What? To the House of Healing.
We can just sell to Valinor.
Oh, this is so bad.
Any contextual.
This is where they're gonna end this. They end the season, isn't it? Called it. Totally called it. At least for that part.
Well, you did not call it.
That part of the story, it's done. It's not coming back, I don't think.
How much time is left?
Oh wow.
Oh fuck.
20 some minutes. Maybe they will have a second part. I don't know. Fix what?
Who?
Mr. Burroughs, the Black Hobbit.
Ah, okay, yeah. I forgot he existed.
See, the thing is, if he had taken only like one battalion back with him to the Dwarven realm and sent the rest out, none of this would have happened.
Yep.
So it's literally all Durin's fault. If I was the Lowman, I'd be like, "Peace, I'm out." It's
Yeah. Same.
are they holding hands?
Well, to be fair, there are also
not holding
some
hands.
some scary monsters out there, so maybe not.
See, he doesn't even have to go back though. That's the stupid thing. He could easily stay there with her. It's not like there's a demand that he goes back. Not like he's under arrest or anything.
Oh, he will be.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they'll come up with something. I hate how she's looking up instead of straight ahead.
But she should be looking straight ahead to look at Pharazon, so she's not looking at him still.
She's blind. She should be looking straight ahead anyway. It's like the long stare. You just like this.
Yeah, but maybe she decided, oh, I'm going to fuck with everyone and put my eyes upwards, even though I can't see anyway.
So how far did she fall?
20 kilometers.
I mean, I'm not saying she hit terminal velocity, but she came damn near close.
Yeah, but she had like a healing ring, so it's
She
fine.
also
Yeah.
hit the tree on the way down. Oh no. I can't pull off puns.
Oh God. Grandelf, is that his name now? Grandelf?
Grandelf.
That
Crandall?
sounds
What?
good. I'll call myself Grandelf.
Every single story comes like Grandelf, next one, Grandelf, next one, Grandelf. Oh, that's my name. Why didn't I think of that?
Grandelf.
But I'm not a home. Or I'm not an elf.
But why though?
I mean, besides the height difference. And the memories thing. And
I guess the height is pretty different.
the survivability chances. Ability to fit in small spaces. Oh, the magic. There's also the magic, yes, yeah. Oh, she's a she and he's a he. There's a difference.
Well, no, that's bigoted, right?
I mean, I'm sorry if they're both bigots, but reality is reality.
You didn't know that. Maybe one of them identifies as the other.
He identifies as Grandel.
Look,
Oh, look at that! What a grand Gandalf staff fine thing he could do. It has a perfect little piece in the middle that can hold the stone of some sort.
What a coincidence.
Oh, he found me Gand, eh? Is this where Bombadil pops up and says, "Oi, you did it! You done did it!"
Yeah, here's a hat.
You're my apprentice, and gives him this hat. That's probably what happens too. Although it has a feather on it, so that wouldn't work.
No, Bombadil will keep the feather, but might give the hat. I don't know.
Oh bother, we're back to Bombadil.
Look, see, he's going. This is the moment.
Tom Dirty Bombadil.
He's like, I disobeyed you, Tom. I went to help my friends. And by golly gee whiz, I found me Gand. Oh, no. It's not, it was not a riddle. He said it plain. The star finds him.
Wait, I thought that was only how Harry Potter worked.
He's like, I
Gandalf.
need a second cup just because I knew you were going to be here. You gonna say it or what?
Gandalf. Oh, God.
That's what they're going to call you, or is that your name?
What?
And the book continuity wide open yet again.
Why would Gandalf, not Gandalf, know the song?
I don't know. Maybe it's like a magic song that you automatically know.
Oh, God.
We still have 8 minutes, 9 minutes left. This is such a sad version of the song.
Is it? I can't hear it, so I'll take your word for it.
They just have bright blue as his jacket. His jacket isn't bright blue.
It's almost like bluegrass. We'll cover it after the recording so you can hear it. Up to the Dark Wizard. What's he doing over there in the Temple of Doom?
Dark Wizard is obviously Saruman.
But is he though? Because how does he become a good guy and then back to a bad guy?
No, he was a good guy, right?
Yeah.
Saruman originally was, yes.
Yeah, but he told Gandalf that he was a friend, and then, oh, you must realize that I'm trying to do good or something. I don't know.
A Valley North. Gee, Rivendell.
Hmm?
Rivendell is a Valley North in Madras.
Yeah, okay.
So it was after the fall of Region that Elrond eventually founded in Madras.
Sure. But is that right now?
No, of course not. There was all the compression, but
Oh no. Then who was?
Nope, this is their Game of Thrones.
I guess so, but this makes me think more of Dragon Age.
Is he not wearing the Crown Prince thing? Drat, she's still alive.
Fuck. Well. And we also get the.
Hey, no flicking the knee. This is not that kind of a show. To losing battles? I'm sure he was. Why would you still be in pain? It's healed.
Is it?
The wound would be healed, but the exhaustion wouldn't be.
well, she would still be suffering from the wound to our spirit. Like it might be healed, but still drained. You know. No.
You know where they're at? Rivendell.
Yeah, we said that.
Is this Rivendell?
Yeah.
This is Rivendell because the rings.
Because it's a valley north of Moria.
Fair enough.
Come on, just kiss your mother-in-law and get it over with. Jeesh. Rondir.
I'm glad we are still commander. I thought Elrond took over.
We're just gonna sail west to Valinor, and you know,
Lindon. What defenses? You have no military. You lost them all.
there's a whole chunk of missing Sindarin elves and the Sylvan elves.
Because the
The war good
armies, the
woodland
armies of
sprites.
Linden and Eregion had only like 500 troops. Why are they asking the one who caused this entire problem? And why is Gil-galad not making the phone?
Like the largest population of elves right now should be the Sindarin.
Yeah.
It should be the Sindar.
So, yeah.
Hey, one of Elrond's dudes today alive. I love the old-faced elves. Like they're literally like, "Hey, I'm 60 years old. You can tell." You're like, "Wait, what? That's not how that works." They're really like emphasizing her bright whiteness. Her inability to open her mouth really irritates me.
Sorry, what?
She always talks like this. She never actually separates her mouth. Like, she doesn't talk like a person. Like what her mouth is right now is literally as big as it gets. Like the entire series.
Now she has like a white Galadriel dress on.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
Oh,
what
Galadriel. So I'm
the
assuming
guys told her to do.
I'm assuming this is the part where the great genocide of everyone begins.
Well, I mean, they could start right there.
We will have no black elves among us.
Why are you
Yep.
pulling your sword out?
But he's going to kill Arondir to make the population fit the Lord of the Rings.
The random Asian elf. Nah! We suck! Ah! That's the largest population of elves ever.
It's like what, 20?
It's literally just the elves of Eregion. It's not even the elves of Linden.
Well, okay. I mean, this show found it by accident, but there are not supposed to be a lot of Noldor elves left. Make sure there's no post-credit scenes.
No.
Why would they be there?
For my prediction to be right.
I guess. Well, I guess we're finally free.
Oh, not
May
quite.
God Almighty, free at last.
For a while, at least.
Free at last, free at last. Thank the Lord, I'm free at last. Sorry, I should not be singing. Oh, that was painful.
I will say though, this was like this was not as bad as the previous 7 episodes. It was bad, but it wasn't like.
I'm not sure about that.
It's not as bad as last episode, but there was still a lot of really stupid stuff.
There are better episodes than this one in this season.
Yeah, from different
I will never use that.
No, from this specific season 2.
There's
this is
bad
not
and worse. There's no better.
The best episodes. The last one was worse, I agree. But I would say this is probably third worst.
So my memory is telling me
maybe fourth.
The third, fourth, and fifth episodes are the ones I hate the most.
I don't know.
I don't know what happened in them, so I can't.
Yeah, no. See, that's the whole thing. That nothing much happened. It was mostly just them talking and walking around.
There was something that triggered me in those 3 episodes.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on in this, and that's really disturbing and boring at the same time. I really, really wish I could have my brain wiped right now.
Don't we all?
Well, I'm on drugs, so
I wish I was on drugs.
but I just took my
I don't like
drugs.
drugs. I don't like drugs in any shape or form.
Yeah.
And
I just took my antibiotic and my Advil, so I should be physically.
I hate that antibiotics. Really helping your case, Matt.
I mean, maybe my symptoms of infection were actually caused by watching the show.
That's more than likely. Yes.
Yeah.
He's having illusions before his eyes.
Maybe I need some of that High King Elven healing to purge the corruption from my soul.
Yes.
But remember,
Unfortunately,
it didn't work.
those rings are no longer here. So,
Yeah.
too bad. You're going to have to live with it.
Or die with it. There's that too.
Yeah, that's also possible. And then he goes beyond this world, and maybe he will bring the corruption with him. That's no guarantee that he's rid of it at that point. Because we, of course, don't know what happens. The fate of men is not known.
It's death. What? Did you not listen to Eru at all?
Yeah, sure, it's death, but that's not the
everything.
end. They
I
go
know.
beyond the world.
I know.
And then beyond, there's something that we
You
don't know.
literally just said we don't know what happens, and you're like, here's how it happens.
No. We know how it happens, but not what happens.
You don't need to know what happens. You just need to know that it does happen. That's literally what Eru tells him.
But there's no details.
You don't need details. The fact that anything happens.
Just remember,
something happens.
All the stuff we're doing as the fate of men versus elves is stuff we know from having read the Legendarium. Like in the show, in the books rather, the actual published books, the 2 Tolkien published, none of that's ever said, right? And then you get the Silmarillion, which is technically from the way the gimmick was wrote, was something that was told in like the 9th century AD. After, when Erendil's descendant, Alfwine, was the first human to travel the straight road and got to Toleracia, and they gave him the lore of the old world. So that's at the point when the Valprola said to the elves, "Well, there's the men out there. They just go beyond the door at night or whatever. We don't know what happens, right?" So by the time that knowledge would have been, the Silmarillion knowledge would have been in there, would have been well after the time period that they lived in this setting.
Yes, but the point is that if they don't just die, if there is something past the dying part, that means something happens.
Well, no, they don't know that though.
Well, if they know that they go beyond,
they don't know that.
Didn't they say that?
And not in the books.
Well, in eventual books.
In the books, the whole reason, or one of the main reasons, Sauron is able to mind rape them and convince them, "Hey, let's take this big armada and attack the virtual gods of Valinor."
But that's the humans of Numenor not knowing the specific details regarding that.
And they will be the humans in the most position to know.
But I vaguely recall that being mentioned in the first few chapters, right? When Eru talks with the Valar.
Well, in the Silmarillion, yes.
Even if that was the case, it wouldn't be required. Like, they can be afraid of death and still know that something comes after. Like,
but they don't know.
Well, no. I'm saying whether they knew or didn't know is irrelevant.
Sure.
So I'm saying that just because
they just want to live forever on the world. Yes.
They want to be as they are.
And to be fair, I can't really blame them.
I mean,
it seems like a.
But...
Yeah.
Didn't work out that great.
It didn't work out that great, sure, but I mean, maybe the motivation was not necessarily.
The undiagnosed, no, not a good deal for them. But like, I mean, whether they knew or didn't know, they could still fear death.
Sure.
Whether they whether that fear is the reason that drove them and the lack of knowledge of what was beyond did it or whatever.
Mhm.
The end point is that doesn't change that something is afterwards, because the whole
Sure.
point that death is Iluvatar's gift to man, and it is denied the elves, and they don't quantifiably understand why it's a good thing. But Eru being like, it's a gift is obviously not just annihilationism. There's something
Well,
beyond, there's something more, and thus that just leads you to the conclusion that there is more. You don't need a whole, you wouldn't even need it spelled. And it's not like he said, oh, there's heaven, oh, there's, whatever, there's a big city on a cloud floating around in outer space or whatever. Like, nothing else is required except to know that death is not the end. That's
Mhm.
it. Like, death is a path one we must all take, as Gandalf says, which is ironic considering technically no. Not everybody has to die, just men. And dwarves, I guess, technically.
So yeah, it's a bit unfair, but I guess
Well, I'm
such is
saying,
life.
well, had
I don't know
had
when
Morgoth
dwarves
not
turned back into
corrupted
the
the
mountain,
world,
like turned into stone or something, or
had Morgoth not corrupted the world and particularly gotten to men first, things would have been different.
well, yes, but the point is that regardless of Morgoth getting to them or not, is irrelevant to how Eru planned everything. He said, "I'm giving the gift of death to them," and it is a gift. It's not a curse.
But they don't know about that at the time.
They don't need to know about it for it to be the case.
That's correct, but they need to know about it to act on it.
Well, how do you act on it? It's death.
By not attacking Valinor.
Well, yes, but they're just because death was there does not mean they won't be afraid of it, because they want something different. They want something different than what Eru had
If
planned.
they knew that the fate of the elves and the fate of men were different, they would have known that going to Valinor would not have given them the immortality of the elves.
But that's not what they wanted. They wanted immortality.
But they would have known that they would not be able to get it.
Well, they would have been told they wouldn't be able to get it. Doesn't mean they would have believed or agreed with it. But again, remember, Sauron does poison their minds and does put to them, hey,
that's
the Undying Lands to get that.
That's the end of the story.
That's how they got there.
Before Sauron even got involved with the Numenor, the King's Men and the desire for immortality started in like the 4th or 5th century in Numenor.
Yeah, I get that. What I'm saying is that even if death was a gift, and even if they knew about it, there can be those who didn't want to die, and they wanted to become immortal. They wanted to live forever because they liked this current thing, and they wanted to keep the current thing going.
Yes, that's correct. But
so it doesn't matter whether they did or didn't know, but we know that there was something, or that there is something beyond death.
Again,
and that's why
we're not talking about the no. We're talking about what the lack of specific knowledge caused, which was them to get suckered. One of the many reasons the King's Men were vulnerable to Sauron was because they had 2,000 years of this self propaganda of we can be immortal like the elves, blah blah blah.
Matt, your camera's still turned off. I don't know if that's on purpose or if you just forgot.
Yeah, it's on purpose because I'm doing something medical right now.
Oh, that's fine. I just didn't know if you maybe forgot.
No, it's on purpose.
Yeah, my point was just that they're just because they know, like, it's like, oh, heaven's on the other side. If they're just like, well, I don't want heaven, I want to be immortal. Well, that's all you need for them to have a reason to do what they did. That's literally it. All Sauron did was prey upon their fears. That's literally it. So we know that.
Well, no, he did more than prey on their fears. He blatantly mind raped them.
Well, he may have done that entirely, but you even said it yourself before Sauron ever got there. Like, they were already be like, oh, I don't want to die. That's why they began to have problems with the elves. That's why they had problems with the Valar. That's why this stuff happened, was because they were already moving. Sauron reinforced that direction they were moving. That's literally it.
And what I'm saying is, because they didn't have the specific knowledge of what the fate was,
I'm saying it wouldn't have mattered.
I'm saying it would have, because the propaganda of the psychological self-delusion wouldn't have built up over 2,000 years prior to Sauron getting there.
I mean, being told something and knowing the reality of it are two different things.
Well, it is, but in theory, the leaders of the Numenorians would say, wait a minute, we know in fact that this is how it works. To properly educate the people.
They don't know, in fact, that's how that works. They just know that's how they've been told it works.
They didn't know they didn't know it, therefore they could. But the Valar, hey Valar, come over and visit the island and tell us how it is, you know.
But why would they do that? That's not.
Why wouldn't they do that?
That's not part of their plan. Ever since the Valar have retreated after Morgoth and everything, they haven't come back out. That's
yeah, they do. Thing. Almost out all the time.
Well, almost in the ocean, yeah. But if that was the case, why didn't he show up to tell him who Sauron was?
Almost the one who gave Boromir and Faramir their prophecy. The reason Boromir was in Rivendell to begin with.
I thought we were talking about Numenor.
Because only the faithful were listening.
Yeah, so if the faithful is only listening, it wouldn't matter what you tell them if somebody's reinforcing their fear.
But maybe when the division started, if they knew, they said, okay, this is how Eru Yuvatar set it up. Let's go.
Yuvatar?
Yeah. That's his name, Eru Yuvatar.
You mean a Luvatar?
I say Yuvatar. I don't pronounce the I. When Evil Yuvatar set it up, okay, let's invite the Valar to send someone to explain this to us and educate our people. So Ianwi, the herald of Manwe, comes along and starts explaining stuff to them.
But again, explaining something, I can say like.
So you're saying education doesn't work at all?
I'm saying J.R.R. Tolkien can come and say, after this life, there's heaven, and it's great. And then somebody's like, oh, that's nice. And then after 2,000 years of people dying, you're like, you know what? I kind of would rather live forever.
But you can't.
Just because you tell somebody heaven is real does not mean that people are instantly want to go to heaven. There are people who actively don't want to go to heaven.
So you're saying education doesn't work?
No, I'm saying despite education, people will still choose what they want to choose.
But it won't be the vast majority of the population. It'll be a bunch of kooks.
Why would it be? I mean, even from J.R.R. Tolkien's own faith, like narrow is the path.
By the time Sauron showed up, the majority of the population of Numenor was Kingsmen, and they were actively persecuting and trying to kill the faithful.
Yes, that falls in line with Catholic Christian doctrine.
Again, you're bringing something that has nothing to do with the actual event.
I'm saying that is a very logical reason that it is that way. Like that completely follows the.
Yes, because the Kingsmen had 2,000 years of false propaganda that they all became worked up over generation after generation after generation.
They're being falsely educated. Yeah.
So maybe if they knew it at the time in the 3rd century of the Second Age or so, when the Kingsmen movement started, and it was only like 10 Kingsmen, and the King of Numenor would have said, "Wait a minute, we have this growing movement of people who are speaking against what we know to be the truth. Let's invite the Valar."
But do they know it's true? No.
At the beginning of Numenor, they were living hundreds of years. There were people alive from the First Age then.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that they were told things. But it's not like Eru came down out of the heavens and said, here, I'll give you a taste of what death is like, but I'm going to bring you back. And they go through this portal. They go to this cool little place. And they're like, oh, this isn't so bad. And they come back and say, hey, guys, we've seen the light of the knot trees over here
but
in the heaven place.
You're missing the point, okay? The Kingsmen were a fringe movement that grew into the dominant part of the population.
It will always get stronger because fear in men.
No, if you have proper education and societal management, it won't get stronger.
You can't force someone to believe a specific thing.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
You can. Children are indoctrinated all the time.
You're not forcing them. They're just easy to manipulate.
That's forcing. You lock them in a school and so they have to go there for 18 years. That's indoctrination.
And when they pop out and say, you know what, none of this is right, and then they change their view.
How do they say that? Does their brain just magically think different?
Depends. There are some people who yes, and other people no.
And they'd be on an island full of people who think the same way with no exposure to anything else. Why would they change their opinion?
Why would they believe something that was explained to them, but they have no evidence of it?
Because that's what belief is.
Well, no. Usually, they would believe it because they have evidence.
No, that's knowledge. We're back to this whole thing from before the thing. You believe something to be true because you just accept it to be true.
Well, no, you're just bandying words.
No, I'm using epistemology, which is knowledge versus belief.
Do you believe you know knowledge?
No,
do you believe you have knowledge.
I may believe I have knowledge, but it's irrelevant to the knowledge's existence.
But you have to believe. You don't know you have knowledge?
I know I have knowledge for sure.
So you can't believe you have knowledge.
I can believe it, but it's irrelevant to the fact that I have the knowledge. My belief is relevant to that.
Sage, can you add some input into this?
No.
Too bad. Input.
It's
Okay,
all
put it this way.
Chinese to
Put it
me.
this way. Yuvatar, Yahweh, exists outside the universe, right? Our knowledge is defined by what's inside the universe. You can never have any knowledge of what's outside the universe by definition.
If that's the case, then they cannot be educated about what goes on outside of the universe.
You can be.
No, he can tell them, but they will not know if it's true.
Okay, so they know it's true or they believe it's true. Which one is it?
They might not believe it. Who knows?
Exactly my point. Over thousands and thousands of years, people could drift away because
But they didn't drift away. They were taught that it wasn't true.
They became Kingsmen. By definition, they drifted away.
No, they didn't. It wasn't an accident. The Kingsmen was a movement.
It doesn't have to be an accident.
It specifically wasn't. The Kingsmen was a movement.
I know. It starts with 1. It becomes 2. It becomes 3.
You don't know if you're talking like this.
Into 1. That's what I'm saying.
It was a deliberate movement to teach different things, to have a different way of life than that which was compatible to valor and the else.
People who had no physical evidence or any evidence of any type other than just we were told some 1,000 years ago this was the case. They don't have. They don't.
The Kingsmen literally started,
and the dead people.
When the Kingsmen started, there were still living people who had met the Maiar in the first stage.
Okay, and they can call them crazy kooks. Okay.
Again,
they could do that. Yes, I guess.
Just because someone exists that was there does not mean that people will inherently believe them. That's not how that works.
That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is the Kingsman wasn't an accidental. Oh, I just accidentally think this and I accidentally think that. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
It is expected of humanity.
No, it's not.
Why wouldn't it be? Do you not see how
humans
behave right now?
Why wouldn't it be? Every major moral system on the earth, by the way, which is mostly religion, have the core tenets of the same: murder's bad, stealing's bad, sleeping with some dude's wife is bad.
Except for those who say, evil doesn't exist. Yeah, there's all those. Yeah, but
irrelevant. You keep bringing up side points that are irrelevant. Okay,
I'm saying except for the exceptions.
All three Abrahamic religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, which is like 99% of people on the earth, all hold that murder is wrong. That's 99% of the earth. That murder is wrong. That stealing is wrong. That sleeping with his wife.
Despite that, people can still not agree that murder is
individual wrong. People can do that, but the society, all societies formed about those religions
and become a movement.
All societies formed around those religions with those basic principles all hold. They put people in jail for murder. They put people in. They punish adultery in some fashion, and they punish stealing in some fashion.
I think people posit that they can do that without those things. I don't necessarily agree with them, but
we both don't agree with that. We both agree that morality comes from on high. No, let's not argue that. Okay.
But my point is, okay, if you have humans who psychologically we know that they fear this or that, and then that alters their viewpoints on things, how their outlook on life, their beliefs, their whatever that might be, all of that is affected by everything that happens around them. Now, if you have a people group who believe in this afterlife, which that would be only if they told them, which if they didn't tell them, they would have no reason to believe that. because they wouldn't know about
Yeah,
it.
well, they didn't tell them. This is the
Okay,
point.
so they didn't tell them that there is a place beyond
And
death.
my
All
point
they
is
know
was,
that they are going
had
to
they
die,
told them,
and they decide they don't want to die. That's not an unrational
but again,
position to move
you
towards.
my original point was, had the people of Numenor been told that the fate of men was only a death of the body, that there was something beyond, we don't know what it is, so Ewer set it up. The controlling powers of Numenor could have educated the population and suppressed the King's movement.
But at the same time, that's an interference.
No, it's not.
It is. Because now you're trying to sway people to your opinion as opposed to letting them choose your opinion. So if Eru comes down and is like, hey, this is what happens after you die, they could believe him, but then there's not going to be any sincere choice to believe.
But he does that.
Feel foolish to do so.
He eventually does that.
Eventually.
Remember, the Bible is a sequel to The Lord of the Rings.
I mean, one might argue a parallel.
In Tolkien's mind, it was.
It wouldn't make much sense, but okay.
In Tolkien's, the Lord of the Rings structure, the two books Tolkien published, we can argue over the other stuff that he didn't publish, were compliant with Catholicism of his day.
Yes, I'm talking about the order of like the fall of man, sin, nature, all that.
Well, the whole thing about the origin of men. Do you remember that men awoke in the east, and Morgoth / Satan was the first one to find them, the snake in the garden?
Yes, but you're saying it was a sequel, not a parallel.
Well, to the two books Tolkien published, which was Lord of the Rings and.
Well, I know, but I'm saying humanity. One, it's really weird to do with
Tolkien didn't publish the Silmarillion.
I know. I mean, it's still his writings, but I know.
Yeah.
I'm talking like, okay, the chronological order of effects that happen in the Bible.
Again, we're not talking. We're talking in terms of how you would describe the time period. So
parallel.
The Lord of the Rings was a prequel to the Bible, if you want to think of it that way.
That's what I'm saying. Is it's not.
But it is.
Well, no, because if man already fell, then they can't fall again. But if they fall and it's a replica of it, that's parallel. It's not.
No, the fall of man in the Bible is the fall of man in Tolkien's world.
That's the parallel.
It's the same event.
It's a parallel. That's my point.
It's the same event.
Side by side.
No, not side by side. They're the same event.
Okay, so where's the Akalabeth in the Bible?
It doesn't have to be.
Then it's not the same, but it's a parallel because it's saying this is the fall of man and here's the fall of man, but they're different stories. There's nothing prior to the Bible, therefore it cannot have a prequel.
That's why it's fiction.
Then that would be Tolkien's work being the fiction.
Wait, are you saying it's not
Yes.
real?
Tolkien's work is fiction.
Yes, but now you're implying that the Bible is also fiction.
No, the Bible. I mean, the Bible is a real book, and for purposes of I'm not going to debate the validity of the Bible and religion. That's beyond the point. Tolkien wrote the events of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit
based off of his Catholic beliefs, but not intentionally, just as a byproduct. Yes.
It wasn't allegory. It was just this is what happened 5,000 years before the time.
It is world building based off of the parallels in which he grew up in his faith. I get that. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a prequel or a sequel. It was just a parallel. He just took that and made his world building.
Parallel is not a word in books. It's prequel or sequel. There's no other.
If I write a book and I name a smobbit named Bobbit instead of Bilbo,
that's called a ripoff.
But they're parallels. They're things like this looks a lot like this. That's how you get ripoffs.
That's called a ripoff.
They look awfully similar, don't they? Oh wait, mankind was, corrupted and fell from grace. Oh look, that happens to be the same event over here in this book.
And I'm saying specifically, the fall of man in the Bible was the fall of man when man awoke in the East. Tolkien wrote it that way.
Because I don't think he does. Sage.
I don't know.
No, do you understand what I'm saying at least? When I'm saying the parallels, like they're similar stories because he used one to build the other.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I need to know because I don't think he gets it. But
it's the same story, But Tolkien includes no details other than that Morgoth got to them first.
He doesn't have to. We just know the comparisons. The comparison is the parallel.
And if you want to know what happened, you go read the Bible.
I don't remember the fall of Numenor in the Bible, but I'll let you
No, if you want to know what happened when man awoke, you go read the Bible.
Well, I mean, you don't need the Bible to tell you because Tolkien's work tells you what happened.
No, all it says is man awoke in the east, and Morgoth got to them first. That's all it says.
Yeah, and Morgoth didn't give them the option of an apple or anything. He just took them and corrupted them.
No, it doesn't say anything of what he did. He just said he got to them first.
And we know what Morgoth does. He corrupts things.
Well, and the way Satan did it in the Bible was with the apple of knowledge.
Satan didn't corrupt. He manipulated.
That's corruption and manipulation almost synonyms.
No, because corruption would involve that he had a...
If you manipulate someone to nefarious intent, that's corruption.
But if he's saying, oh, I'm going to bandy words with you so you turn against God, it's not the same as him, like, infecting them with something.
Again,
Or is it?
It's not.
it is.
Because all the serpent does is say, ask them questions, lets them answer the questions. That's literally all he does. He doesn't convert them to anything. He doesn't change anything. He's like, hey, just eat this apple and you'll become like God. That was literally it.
And he offers a temptation that the Bible said man was ripe for.
But they chose to do it. He didn't force them to it, which is what corruption would be.
No. If someone offers you drugs, okay, you may freely choose to use those drugs, but they still corrupted you.
Yes, but that's not what happened. All the entire Eden story account is literally just mankind disobeyed and thus fell. That's literally it.
And all it says in Tolkien is mankind awoke in the east, and Morgoth found them first.
Yes, but when Morgoth got to some elves, did he give them a little dandy talk and then torture them and then convert them? And
he just took them.
Yes. So why would we think he would do anything different than man?
Maybe his work was easier. Maybe he had a different plan. Who knows?
Why would he not
Tolkien
dominate them?
Tolkien didn't explain it because Tolkien didn't explain. He doesn't have to.
But okay, you're trying to force the parallel on this particular.
I'm not forcing anything. You're arguing for the sake of not wanting to agree.
And I'm saying
you're arguing for the sake of not wanting to agree.
No, I'm saying that Morgoth shows no signs of trying to bandy words.
Okay, let me put it this way. Tolkien created his work with that in mind, that the awakening of man in the East was the Garden of Eden. So you can't dispute that because that's how Tolkien did it.
Okay, he can take an overarching event and say he found them just like the serpent found mankind and leave it there. He doesn't have to go through the whole event. There was no apple. There was no questions.
Correct. But it's his work. We're not talking about your opinion of it. We're talking about his actual work.
I know what his work says. I'm saying, but we also know what his characters are like because he
Again,
tells us what they're like.
If Tolkien, the author, says this is how my work is, you have to go with his conclusions on it.
But what were his exact words?
I have to look up all the letters. When he calls, he said Morgoth is actually Satan, Eru is actually Yahweh. He has there's dozens and dozens of letters, which is beyond this because my landlord's going to be here in like the next 10 minutes. So I got to deal with that and deal with other live stream.
Well, we'll go ahead and wrap up because I need to show you guys that song so you could be as miserable as I am.
No, I'm good.
No, you can't get away from this. That's not how this works.
You cannot escape it.
Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed our talk because it was definitely more interesting than this episode.
Yes, it's always more interesting.
Always more interesting. And leave us your comments of how bad you think we make points or whatever, or if you agree with one of us or if you don't agree with anything. Think we're stupid.
Whatever. I'd rather argue with these guys all day than watch this show for 10 seconds.
I'd rather not just argue, I'd rather discuss and debate, but that's just me.
Argument is...
I'm
not using argument in the angry sense.
It's not the same as debating and discussion.
I'm using argument in the presentation of evidence.
Stating an argument as a presentation, yes. But yes. everybody argues that I argue for the sake of arguing, and I'm like, that's not how that works. It's like, see, and I'm like,
Let's get this song over with.
anyway. So thanks everybody for hanging out. I know you probably are half as miserable as I feel, but I feel less than half as miserable as you should. But, sorry. That's kind of on the fly. But whatever. Anyway,
Yes.
so, anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out, and hopefully we'll have some more videos coming out. Next week is going to be a blessed week since we don't have Rings of Power to look forward to. But I have some possible things I want to look at, but we'll see how we get on with them since things and events in the world are happening at such a rapid pace. We'll find out what we got. But the good news is this is over with for at least another 2 years, probably. So
Maybe a meteor will kill us all before then.
not likely, but I'm just here to make you miserable. But anyway, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all the fun jazz. If you guys enjoy our commentary or our just nonsense that we are in totality. But thanks for hanging out with us. And do you guys have anything? I guess Sage, I know you don't because you don't ever do anything. Matt, you have streams. Was it Roman the Empire?
I'll be on Roman's stream when we're talking about vampires tonight, which you won't get later, obviously.
Vampires, you say?
Our favorite vampire movies.
I actually got I don't know if you can see, I think it's that one right there's the Blood Rain game that was remastered. I need to get the second one. I also need to get Bayonetta 3 and all that stuff. But yeah. Fun stuff. Cool beats. So you guys probably will have to go back to Roman of the Reigns Roman of the Empire. Wow. You'll have to go I don't know. I have Roman Reigns stuck in my head from stupid WWE and I hate it so much.
That's my other weekly show I do is on wrestling. The Wednesday night's overbooked with a
So
Jacob.
you should be the Geeks and Gamers wrestling channel that they were trying to make because they keep talking about making it. It's just like just they already got it, just throw it in there and throw it in line. But yeah, you'll see Roman of the Empire's stuff. You'll have to go back to watch it because this won't even come out until after it's already done. So just go check that out and give them some love.
Yeah, let's hurry up because my landlord's going to be here in a couple
I'm
minutes.
doing the outro here, good sir. All right, so thanks everybody for hanging out, and remember, as always, walk of the light, my friends.
Farewell.